Another one right here. The Tao of Pooh by Benjamin Hoff. Hoff. Another audiobook I listened to during the month of August. I mentioned it in my August wrap-up. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was another interesting audiobook. I like that in it, the author, he uses different examples from the Winnie the Pooh stories in order to try to explain different Taoist teachings and or concepts. The Taoism is a philosophy, some would even say religion, founded by Lao Tzu, I believe is how you pronounce his name. And that was sometime back in, I believe, the 5th or 6th century. Yeah. I mean, it's not like I remember. I mean, obviously I wasn't alive. In a lot of ways, it kind of reminds me of Buddhism. I mean, I don't have a lot of knowledge of, I mean, when it comes to Taoism, I know a lot more stuff about Buddhism. Of course, Buddhism is more about kind of connecting with one's own inner self and true nature. Some even refer to the act of attaining enlightenment. And so, I mean, with Taoism, it's more about remaining humble no matter what, accepting the way things are, especially if you have no control over them. But at the same time, it's not about, laying down and letting people walk all over you all the time. And the author is good at pointing that out. Of course, there were some examples he used from Winnie the Pooh that I wasn't too familiar with, such as there's a song that's titled Coddleston Pie. But I understood the gist of that song. He even he mimics the voices of Winnie the Pooh and other characters like Piglet and Rabbits and Eeyore, and he doesn't do a good job of impersonating them. Well, it's not really like impersonations. But yeah, so I mean, the author has these fictional conversations with the different characters from Winnie the Pooh. And so, I mean, as far as that song is concerned, the Coddleston Pie song, the way I interpreted the lyrics was that it has more to do with just the fact accepting who we are, who each of us are, accepting the limits that each of us has, and just being okay with it. Such as if someone can run faster or jump higher, that doesn't mean that say someone who can't do that, someone who's runs really slow, someone who can only jump less than a couple feet in the air, that doesn't it doesn't really, when you think about it, it doesn't mean that one person is more superior to the other, or vice versa, or whatever. Really, all it should mean is that, again, we should just recognize our limits, focus on the different skills that each of us do possess, be okay with that, accept it, which to me makes a lot of sense. Obviously, I know for a lot of other people, mostly I know competitive people. I happen to have a lot of friends who are pretty competitive, and it never seems to fail where if something, whenever I'm out hanging out with them, they'll try to outdo each other. They'll say hey, I can drink more beers than you, man. I bet you $5. And they try to do a bet like that, something like that with me. They try to get me to be competitive too, but I've never been a competitive person. Just never have. And yeah, when I was a kid, I played in sports like basketball and street hockey, but dodgeball. But I mean, I was never like really into it. Like never, I just enjoyed, playing that stuff. I just enjoyed being out, hanging out with my friends, playing with my friends, really. But yeah, I know a lot of people, for them sports is like, it's a big thing for them, a big deal. But that's cool, I mean, if Taoism, if anybody's going to take away anything from this audiobook, or even just others like it, that deal with, trying to explain Taoist concepts, or just Zen-like concepts, or it's that, yeah, again, just accept the fact that we're all different, and that's that. There's no point in trying to trying to convince a fish that he's a bird, because a fish is not a bird. A fish is a fish. A fish will always be a fish. No matter how many times you call it a bird, no matter how many times you might throw the fish up into the air, hoping it's going to sprout wings and fly away. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, as far as like everything else that this audiobook covers, it's pretty much like back and forth with the same thing, just relating different examples from Winnie the Pooh, relating them to, again, Taoist teachings. So yeah, I mean, for the most part, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's very interesting. I would say I'd recommend it to, obviously, anyone who's interested in Taoism. But also, like, if, I would say it's more like a good introduction of sorts. Not even like a complete introduction, but like a decent introduction to Taoism, especially for people who aren't familiar with it at all. So, there. Not sure what else to say about it. So that'll pretty much do it for my review of the Tao of Pooh. Thanks for watching this. Thanks for listening. As always, next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.